Ore Valley Business Centre came about we were working in partnership with Fife Council as part of the Council Incubator Strategy. The Council came to us as Fife Harca were able to apply for funding that they weren't eligible for. The Business Centre is very much part of the local economic development strategy of Lochgelly, and we have 21 office units available to local businesses.
Fife Council has worked for a number of years in collaborative partnership with Ore Valley Housing Association and other community planning partners within the Cowdenbeath area, which does include Lochgelly. In 1999 we looked at a master plan predominantly for housing within the area, and then we wanted to see how we could reuse the assets of the town, so maybe derelict buildings or vacant spaces, to unlock the social and economic potential of the town, to try and mitigate some of the effects of the devastation of the mine closures and the loss of jobs.
ECD Architects stands for Energy Conscious Design and have practiced since 1980, so for over 30 years we have been looking at the energy efficiency of building. The Harca, we have worked with the Harca for over 15 years, and we have been advising on their buildings, on their projects. In particular, the business centre that we're sitting in now, we instigated and proposed various energy efficient measures. One of the main ones was the use of the Thermodeck system. This is the first time this system has been used in Scotland, and it acts as a heat sink, using the heat from the individuals within the building, solar heat gain, and then passing cooled or warmed air through these voids, which in turn heats the building. This is controlled by a building management system which looks at how each service is operating and can flag if there's a problem. We've also just completed an energy audit on the building funded by the Technology Strategy Board to analyse in great detail whether the building is actually operating as it was designed. This study has actually found the building is operating at a very high level of energy efficiency.
For us, well, with the building itself is obviously designed expertly to be as green as it possibly can be within the sort of acceptable budget that we had to work with, and as a result it is achieving the sort of environmental aims that were established for it. The comfort levels are great, but alongside that the kind of the ease of operation and the technically speaking, the sort of carbon levels that the building you would expect it to emit are much lower as a result of the technologies that have been utilised in it. So it's been an interesting experience in terms of utilising this modern technology in the building, but not have it be overly complicated, and it just works, and that I guess is the best outcome you could possibly hope for. The business centre fits in as part of a wider effort to regenerate communities in a number of ways, but in particular using sustainable approaches. So the business centre has its own kind of sustainable technologies in it, but beyond that we've looked at community-owned wind turbines. We also have a large-scale biomass district heating scheme that will generate green power for sale back to the grid, as well as heating about 1,200 local homes down in Cardenden. So we as an organisation are very keen to take a green approach to solving community problems, but also to see that the community itself benefits from these green technologies being deployed. Quite often it can be commercial activity that can take advantage of these things, but we see it important that communities can also capitalise on it as well. So the business centre kind of falls in very closely with that strategy that the community directly benefits from the use of these types of technologies.